All right, guys, hello. This is 5.4 Senior Consumer Math, Simple Interest. So hopefully this will be simple and you'll be interested. Now, when you deposit money into your savings account, you are allowing the bank to use your money. The money you put into the bank is called the principal, and then the bank pays you interest for letting them borrow your money and lend it out. The most common way to calculate this is the simple interest formula, where interest equals your principal times your rate times time, or I equals PRT. And then if we want to know what our new amount is with the interest, we just take our principal plus the interest, or P plus I. So pause the video, give yourself a second to write all of this down if you need it. Otherwise, we're going to just jump right in and solve this. All right. So let's look at our first example here. We're looking at Joyce. Now, Joyce deposits $9,000 into an account that pays 5.5% annual. And we need to determine the simple interest for the amounts for 3 years, 3 months, and 3 days. So we know that interest is principal times rate times time. Well, for this one, our principal is 9,000. Our rate is 5.5%, or 0.055. And we need to determine the times. Now, key thing is that this is annual. So if we look at our first one, our time is just 3 because we're talking about 3 years. In the next one, we're talking about 3 months. Well, that's 3 out of 12. And then our last one, we're talking about 3 days, or 3 out of 365. So we're going to get 3 different answers. So let's go ahead and solve this. So we'll do the one in red first. So our interest is our principal, 9,000, times our rate, times our time. So 9,000 times 0.055 times 3. $1,485 in interest. If I want to find what my new amount is, I'm going to go principal plus my interest. And there we go. So after 3 years, this is how much will be in the account. And we just repeat that process, just changing the T every time, because we're looking at different times, but the same principal and the same rate. So interest equals 9,000 times our rate times our time, 3/12. Now, I might not do all 3 of these just because I don't have the room, but also because it's the same process every time. So there's my interest. If I want to find the amount, I take my principal plus my interest. And there we go. There's how much will be in the account after 3 months. And again, if you just wanted to calculate the last part, you would just replace this with the 3 out of 365. So I don't know that this is really that difficult, other than making sure you use the correct times. So on this next one, I'm not going to solve each part, but let's tell what the t should be. So 4 years is just 4. 4 months is 4/12. 4 days is 4 out of 365. Nothing too interesting there. Now on the next one, let's just write our times. 10, 10/12, 10 out of 365. T is 5, T is 5/12, T is 5 out of 365. And just for fun, this is P, and this is R. And don't forget, we want it as a decimal. P is 10,000. R is 5.5%, or 0.055. Okay, cool. So same process, plug it in, put it into your calculator. If you want to find the amount, you just add your principal and interest. This is the formula to find your interest, if you're interested in doing these. Okay, so sometimes we might know the time, we might know the rate, but we don't know the principal. Or maybe we know the principal and the rate, but we don't know the time. Or maybe we know the principal and the rate, but we just don't know how long it's been in the bank for. So let's look at a couple of those. So remember, interest is principal times rate times time. So they told us what the interest is. They told us how long it's been in there for. And they told us what the rate is. What we need to figure out is how much did they invest? What's the principal? So we're going to plug in what we know and work backwards to solve. So here's my principal. Here's my rate. And my time is 8 out of 12, because that's what 8 months would be. So I'm going to keep solving this way just so I have more room. So I get 150 equals 0.06 times 8 divided by 12. To get P by itself, we're going to divide both sides by 0.04. And we get $3,750. So this would have been their principal. That was their initial amount. Okay. We'll keep going. So remember, interest equals principal times rate times time. So they told us they invested $10,000. That's our principal. They said the rate was 6.5%. That's our rate. They want to know how long, time, how many months to get this interest. So here we go. Plug in what you know. 975 equals 10,000 times 0.065 times time. But since it's in months, it's time out of 12. Just like here, we use 12 because of 8 months. So we need to know how many months. We need to find the top part. So, again, I'm going to kind of move it over here to solve. So we get 975 equals 10,000 times 0.065, so 650. And then t divided by 12. So we're going to divide by 650. So we get 1.5 equals t divided by 12. Multiply both sides by 12 to get t by itself. And we get 18 months for the time. It'll take 18 months. And again, it's kind of the same process, just finding out what you need. So we'll just look at one more, and here we go. This time I'm just going to do it a little bit faster. So she earned $120 in interest in 9 months at a rate of 8%. How much did she invest? So we don't know the principal. We know that it got 8% in 9 months, or 9 out of 12 years. So we're going to multiply these together. We're going to divide. And we're going to get 2,000 for our principal. So they invested $2,000 at 8% for 9 months. There you go. That's simple interest. So again, I hope you found this simple and that it was very interesting for you. Make sure you get that Google form done, and I'll see you next time.